For the 300th time in its history, the Saskatchewan Craft Council is hosting an exhibition. And while the gallery is open to all, if you suffer from apophobia, you may be reluctant to help them celebrate the milestone.
I am potentially setting them up for fear. Yes, it does create an interesting sensation. In Okotoks, the little kids that I took through the gallery came in, and then the sensor went and there were bees, and they started to look around to find out where it was. And that's interesting to have a real effect on people with your work.
Monique Martin's continuous installation at the SCC was inspired during a residency at Disneyland Paris. And while most visitors there are enthralled by Mickey and Goofy, it was these creatures that caught her eye as she lived near an apiary.
Seeing them for the first time, all of a sudden, I was hooked. And I just became fascinated with the way they move, the way they interact together, the way they work so hard. And then all of a sudden I'm making art about bees.
The exhibit contains several bee-themed works and, of course, a buzzy soundtrack. The centerpiece is this series of panels that take visitors on a journey from a healthy hive to one that is dying. It too was inspired by that Paris experience, as Martin witnessed an unhealthy hive being burned to protect others.
It was just a really powerful experience to see something end. Something that much, like with 50,000 bees, you go, wow, that just stopped? That's amazing. So that really fed my whole, how are the bees healthy?
And there is also commentary on our own health as a species as bee populations diminish. Martin created a placemaker project installation consisting of interlinked clay hexagons, like those that make up honeycombs, to illustrate the interconnectedness of species.
We make a decision and affect somebody around us, it then affects those people connected to that as well. And every little decision creates this ripple in that whole link of our world, right down to the little bee.
Creating the works kept Martin busy as a, well, you know. The 9-foot panels themselves took a year and a half to create, using printmaking techniques for the honeycombs and the bees, which feature 6 colors.
So a print done 6 times, so absolutely labor intensive, but well worth it. It was a challenge to print, and I tell you, I've never been up and down a ladder so many times in my whole life, and hopefully not again.
And visitors can create their own hive through this interactive work called Ordinary to Impossible, that Martin designed to show the complexity of the structures bees create. She hopes those who get involved will again draw comparisons to their own lives.
And I think that when a human is born, they are kind of a blank slate, so they're pretty ordinary. And as they grow and change, we become this impossible thing to replicate. Each one of us so different, so unique, just like the bees take the hexagon from ordinary to impossible, which I think is super powerful.
Continuous will be on display at the Saskatchewan Craft Council through November 19th. In Saskatoon, I'm Simon Hyatt reporting.